Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 24 of the best of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And today our sketch is by Anke Kramer, Anke Kramer, and it's for the Hip Kit Club. And I have done this before. And I'm going to share a picture. This is a layout I did September 18th for 30 days of sketches based on this sketch as well. And so I was excited to do it again and document something a little bit different. That was documenting my 16th anniversary. I actually did it the day of my anniversary and took a picture that day and printed it. So this actually is a picture of our beach house that we rent, or this year at least, this past year we rented. And I'm going to use this American Crafts paper with all these buildings on it. I have a scrap left over from where I had used it, I think, during 30 days of sketches last year. And still had this part of it. And I thought I could fussy cut some of these buildings or something along those lines. And originally I was planning on putting it on that white paper. It's what I pulled out for my kit. But I felt like the black was going to help the houses stand out more because most of them are a lighter color. So other than that, I have nothing. I have no idea what I'm going to use for the stripes in the back. In September, I used some alcohol inks, pearl inks. I have no clue. I'm literally sitting here just debating. So I got my paper, my sketch, and let's see how this goes. So still no clue what I'm doing exactly. I'm thinking about fussy cutting individual buildings, but then I realized that the buildings are all pretty much stacked on top of each other. So I would not get a full building or house or anything like that. So I thought that I would just keep them together and just make like a strip, partially fussy cut down the page. And I really, really do love the way that this turned out. I started to question at some point. But right now I am just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with my stripes. And yesterday my son made me a fabulous little box to document my 500 subbies. And so he asked if he could borrow my white paint. And so he had just given me my white linen shimmer spray by Diane Reevely, and it was still sitting on my desk. So I decided that's what I was going to use. So I just take the little spray tip and I'm just streaking down the page. And then I just get some leftover acetate from a sticker sheet that I had finished off and just drag it down to where I'm going to get that stripe effect. I'm not cautious or careful. I don't have a specific, design. I do want to keep it 3 separate lines with a reasonably defined middle. Unfortunately, I dropped that big old blob right there, but that's okay because that's where the picture's going to go anyway, so that kind of gets covered over. So where you can see the ink, there is a defined difference between each of the lines. And I will go back and add a little bit more once this starts to dry, because a lot of that white will just turn into like a shimmer, and I am perfectly fine with that. I've got enough on there to where I think some of the white actual tint will stand out. And I really do like this. It's completely, well, not completely, but it's pretty different from what I did in September. And I did a bunch of heart stickers and embellishments on that one. So this is, that part of it is completely different. So I start by putting this top part down, and I'm going to have it come over a little off the top so that it is coming off the page and I can trim that off. I think that there's a little black at the top on that peachy pink colored one, but I'm okay with that. I wanted at least some of them to come completely off the page. And then I add this one overlapping, so it just looks like it was one continual piece of 12 by 12 paper. And then I tack it down where it's on the paper, and then I'm going to turn that over and trim off the part that is hanging over. So I do really like the way this looks. I know that these are like buildings, skyscrapers, apartment buildings, and this is documenting a house. But I think the concept is there, and I think the color is really beachy, because a lot of that is like a peachy pink and blue and aqua. I felt like that really kind of screamed beach colors. So I am perfectly thrilled with it. So I guess that's all that matters, right? So I put a little more on there. Like I said, a lot of where it was white was starting to fade into just the shimmer, which is okay. But I did definitely want to have at least some tint in there. So I added a little more and just squished that down. And then in the sketch, the picture is in the middle of the splotches. And I'm going to have mine come over more. But right now I'm looking for a matte that's going to help it stand out a little. So originally I started with like an aqua blue, but the sky is so close to that same color that I didn't want it to disappear. So then I decided I'm just going to use this darker blue that's very similar to the blue in that little building that's up at the top. And I think there's another one at the bottom. So I picked that out of a Recollections paper matte pack that I bought at Michael's. And then, I don't know why it took so long. I should have cut that part out, sorry. I also wanted to matte it in white so that the blue in the background between the house and the sky would stand out. And I thought on that, any of the blue colors, it was kind of disappearing. And I want that gorgeous blue sky to just be a wow factor when you look at this picture. And so since this is a rental house, that's why I am not concerned about the fact that the address is visible. I don't care. It's a rental. And I mean, God knows if we'll ever be back there. And if you want to go rent it, it's a lovely house. So you just call Hobbs Realty. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that I'm very cautious about those kinds of things. And I try not to put any super details on here to where you know the name of my kids' schools or things like that, at least not while they're currently there. So anywho, not that I don't trust the scrappy world, but you can't control who watches what you put on the internet. So back to that's my disclaimer for the day. Public service announcement. So anyway, sorry you all, my brain is like cuckoo. I have matted it on white, matted it on this blue, and then I put some tape runner, and then I'm going to add some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, just because part of it's going on top of that ink, and I just want to make sure that it is, completely tacked down. So I fussy cut this little building, and actually I'm putting it down upside down on purpose, because I couldn't cut the whole building out because of the way that it was sitting. I was gonna miss some of it. So I just put that in there to kind of cover that little space that seemed kind of awkward. And then I pull out these Crafter Square embellishments, and it's like home sweet home kind of things. So the first one I put down is this little house, and it's super cute. And then I pull this one out that is a key, and I'm going to put that up above the picture. And then I find another one on the same sheet, and it was like a tall house with a little heart coming out of like the chimney. I had to think of the word. And I decided I wanted that down below the picture. And so I pull up the little square one, and it does tear my paper a little, and I'm okay with that because it's just a small spot that's going to end up getting covered up by this one that I'm going to put down. And then I just put this other little house up here above the picture. And then I laid this one down. Like I said, it's got the little heart on it. I thought it was so cute. And they're kind of like a coppery color. So I am fine with that. All the shine and shimmer is good with me. And then I pull these stickers out because I need a title. And in the sketch, as you can see up there on the left, the title is next to the embellishment cluster that's going down the page, and below the ink swiping or whatever it is that, I'm assuming that that's ink because of the way that it looks. And so I am going to use one of these titles, and of course it's going to disappear on the page because it's a black paper. But I have this scrap piece of paper that I use to like matte or use like clear stickers on, and I just squished out some cracks, not, no, chipped sapphire. And when I was done with it from painting, I just, instead of wasting, I squished it on this white paper so I could use it if I wanted for background paper or matte picture or something like that. Well, there's a couple of stamps on here that have hearts. And so I just put my title in the middle of that and fussy cut around it. And I really do love the way that it turned out. It was almost like it was intentional. It wasn't. That was me getting the chip sapphire off of my stamp. And so I just was using it up on that paper. And that's why I just kept adding to it. So I love using scraps, you all. And this entire layout, well, the background paper, and then of course this paper I'm using for my embellishments, is all scraps. So I'm keeping with my 2022 resolution to use a scrap on every layout. So yay me. So I put this one down here at the bottom, and like I said, it says, hold on, I gotta look at it because I set it aside to finish drying. There is no place like home, and it's in like a bright tealy aqua color. And then the no place is like in a brown, which I'm perfectly fine with that. There's some gray, there's pink, there's blue, there's all sorts of colors in this. And then the one at the top says favorite moments, and it's in the same colors. So I felt like all of that worked really well. And it has been about 15-20 minutes since I finished this layout. And it is predominantly dry, and the white is still showing almost as much as you can see it right now. But in the sketch, there is also some splotches at the top and bottom by the title and at the very top. So I get that same white linen out and tap that out. And then I'm going to get my little piece of acetate back. And I am intentionally making these more splotchy and not dots, because that is what it looks like on the sketch. It's almost like a big blob. And so I wanted it to do that on here as well. That was intentional. I have made plenty of mistakes where it was not intentional and I made those big blobs and didn't want to. This one was on purpose. So just want to put that out there. So I am done, and so now I'm going to show you the sketch again. This is such a neat sketch, and I've seen so many people, because I'm doing this like a total day late, guys, sorry. I've seen people use striped paper, cut paper that they put in stripes, branding strips, ink, and just all sorts of things. And it's been so neat watching some of the videos before I create my layout, which normally does not happen. So I hope you'll go below to the hashtag for the playlist, because so many people are playing along. It is hundreds and hundreds of videos and over 40 different YouTube people or YouTube channels are involved. So I would love for you to do that. You can also go to Facebook and check out Christy's beautiful 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and you can catch all the sketches there. So I hope you will come back again tomorrow, which is really today, and catch day 25. Have a fantastic day and happy scrapping.